Hey guys, how we doing?
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin?
So I think that the last two episodes of The West Wing are some of the strongest of the series so far. We finally got the election,
Right.
and then the election night, I feel like is just as important as the episode before.
Sure.
It was a great follow up episode, and I honestly didn't consider the fact that we should see that.
There's this basically the celebratory parties afterwards. Sure.
And also, it sets up the whole Sam situation because it was two elections we're dealing with. Really,
Right.
it's the Bartlett election, and then oh my goodness, who's the guy in California who passed away?
Horton Wild.
Yeah, it's his night too,
Yeah.
and Sam's going away.
Right. Obviously we've clearly established how Sam's getting written off the show,
Yeah.
how Josh Malina is kind of coming on. We still have a lot to do there, right? We still have
Sure.
Sam actually going out running, losing, whatever he's going to do.
I don't know if we're going to see that, but I kind of want to.
Hard to say, right?
Yeah.
And we have to have, however, Josh Malina becomes somebody who joins the cast of The West Wing
Yeah.
from obviously working a House campaign.
The transition era, right?
Right.
Which they could just skip over and be like, he's here now. I mean, like,
Yeah, they're usually pretty good about not just skipping over like procedural
the
things.
time jumps usually have purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the show is so procedural
Yeah.
that I feel like that kind of thing is something they can't just really skip.
Sure.
It's like, I mean, hi, I'm here now. I'm like, oh, so there was a whole thing that happened that we don't know anything about.
They like to show you things in the show too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all the procedural aspect of the show is also like kind of what it has going for it.
Yeah, it's an educational show for people who don't know
Yeah.
anything about how the executive branch of the government functions. This is a great show to watch. To be like, oh, this is how these conversations go when you're going to veto a bill or nominate a Supreme Court justice.
And I have a lot of confidence in Josh Malina going forward because a big fan favorite. People on Patreon are very excited that he's here.
Good, yeah.
I want to see how his character kind of gels with everybody.
Sure.
Obviously, we've got the great flashback episodes, I think, in season 2 that kind of shows Sam's relationship to Josh and everybody else there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how Will coming in now kind of fits into that.
Right.
Will we see more of Will's past in a flashback episode for him?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just curious to see where the show is going forward. It still has a lot of life in it,
Absolutely.
and it's been a great season so far.
Yeah, I'm also really curious about what's going to happen with Andy and Toby and the pregnancy and how that gets laid out. We had this conversation once about this, right? Like in season 2-ish, where they were talking about the reveal of the MS.
Yeah.
And, we had people want to have the conversation about should Bartlett have told the public before he ran about this condition? What is it okay to withhold? And we're there now, right? Even then we were like, what about a woman who's pregnant? People have had really strong opinions about whether they should have to reveal that running for office. I remember, this has been several years, Bill Maher, when he used to have his politically incorrect show, I was kind of casually watching, and I'm not a Bill Maher fan, by the way. I find his aged rich libertarian crap quite nauseating. But Marley Matlin was actually on his show, and he was talking about should women who are in the panel who are running for office, should they take I think it was him that was saying it, should they take a pledge not to get pregnant while they're in office so that they're not like
He said that?
Yeah, I think so. Again, I was really casually watching. That was a discussion. I don't know if he was supporting it, but I think he kind of was. The idea like a woman shouldn't get pregnant while she's in office because her job is bigger and more important than that.
Yeah.
In which, of course, Marley Matlin was arguing with him. Like, I worked a lot.
Of course, yeah.
When I was a working pregnant woman.
Yeah, of course.
It didn't shut my brain down.
Sure.
Bill Maher. But
that's the show you watch for the panels.
Right. But and that's kind of where I think we're heading with this, right? I want to see how they kind of lay this out, is like what kind of people, because I think they're going to happen, are actually what Toby is afraid of, going to be in their face and in their business about the fact that she's pregnant and didn't reveal that ahead of time, and if somehow that medical condition is deceptive against the American people. You know what I mean? Or her constituents, at least, right?
She's looking for a fight, so let's see if she gets it.
Oh, I think she will. I think
big
for sure.
It's so dumb. I mean,
it is. Like,
how could you compare pregnancy to MS? I understand they're both like quote unquote conditions.
Well, I don't think they are comparing it to MS. I don't think MS is even going to come up. I just said they'd be saying a pregnant woman shouldn't be in office.
But to make a comparison,
why didn't you tell? Right? Yeah. Why didn't you tell? Yeah.
I don't think it should matter, honestly.
No, I don't. I don't think so either. But clearly, Toby is pretty sure that it's going to somebody, and obviously, it's going to be.
Of course, it's Washington.
Well, it's your political enemies, right?
Sure, yeah.
She's obviously a Democratic congresswoman, so there's going to be a Republican counterforce that's going to be saying
Could
like,
be anything.
family values. You're not married, and you didn't tell us about this, and You know what it's going to be.
We've come so far since the whole Family Values thing. I feel like, I mean, it's died down today, obviously, but like,
well, I feel like there's an ugly resurgence happening right now of all of it. Yeah. Well, that's just my opinion. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We do want to go ahead and welcome Martin, Max Martin, Dr. Ozzy, and Hub City to our Patreon group. Thanks, guys. Welcome, and we're happy you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you mind the like button for us, please leave us a like and a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out the link in the description below our Patreon page. On all shows, including The West Wing, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we're on YouTube. So if you get done watching this on YouTube, want to keep going, that's the place to do it. You will have to sync and watch along on your own device or streaming service. You'll only see in your rest for copyright purposes. We just finished Schitt's Creek and starting Dairy Girls now, and are rolling into films this week. So a lot of change happening. All right. Got that out pretty fast. I thought we did that pretty well.
Yeah, we've been talking for a while.
What's your legislative priority?
Well, the president of Turkmenistan just officially extended the date of adolescence to 25, so things like that.
Sir, what legislative...
Bill of Rights, prescription drugs, keeping the economy growing, find the surplus again, keep the surplus growing.
You and I enjoy your funny jokes, but Idaho, not so much. You'll take it easy now.
I know my people.
I like it when he's all fired up. It's funny.
Exactly.
He's such a dad, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
He just feels like everybody's dad.
The Ayatollah's son has a congenital heart condition.
Anybody else do this?
Just the U.S. and Japan.
No, Japan doesn't do it yet. Guy's gonna put his son's life in the hands of the infidels, but he'll keep his distance.
So save my son, but I'm still going to trash talk you. Yeah.
President,
Not
Generalissimo, whatever he comes back as.
I mean, obviously, you do the right thing and save the kid.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's not the kid's fault.
Right.
If we have the means, why not? You know? And I think Bartlett would be like, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
He's not a monster. It is funny that he's like, yeah, do this for me, still not going to be your friend.
Yeah, right, yeah. I hate you, but I need you to save my kid, and I'm still going to hate you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No favors.
Right.
Could you imagine a heart and lung transplant?
So you've got a pretty rough circulatory system there, yeah.
I'm starting to feel ill will toward the minority leader.
And I've had it up to here with the Welsh.
I'm not kidding. He was campaigning with us like a half hour ago.
You're the reason there are term limits.
Yeah? You're the reason. Nothing. Nothing's happening.
Don't start until you have the
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the job wasn't for me. I like land, I
This is
like
on the
dirt.
losing end. Yeah.
Could you be a little more sympathetic? I'm a loser.
Not a big one.
Okay. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe trying for a job with the National Park Service.
The director of the National Park Service.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I think Andy's about to get sued for election fraud.
Andy was trying to get sued for election fraud.
Yeah, there it is.
She's a pistol.
Yep. I kind of wonder what group is suing her, if it's like a civil thing. Who knows?
There is no nomination, there's a primary. And if someone gets 50% of the vote, there's no general.
The campaign manager is Scott Holcomb, finance director is Betsy Watkins, communications director is Mark Stern.
So he's not on the team? Yes, that seems weird to me, yeah.
There are too many chiefs around here.
Well, I'll get rid of some of them.
No, you want them. Scott Holcomb and Betsy, these guys are the best. I'm gonna stick around here for a week and help and thank some people, and then I'm gonna take a vacation. Maybe Epcot.
That's great.
I've never been, but it looks nice.
You can get a beer from any place in the world.
I know, right? He deserves some time off, though.
He does, yeah.
Tell me about the boy.
He and a guardian have crossed the border into Kandahar.
The organs are in Zurich.
I'm sorry, it sounded funny to me. I'm the kid in bio who laughed all the time.
He's in a goofy mood,
He
isn't
is,
he?
yeah. He's feeling good. He's won an election.
Now what's left is to line up a doctor and get the funding.
Go around the room.
If at least you got the clerics.
How old is he?
15.
15. Get this boy in pre-op. Somebody tell the Swiss to stop standing in the damn doorway with a mouse in their mouth. Mr. Finch and Mrs. Wilberforce. There's nothing wrong with my memory. Though those are stupid names.
Yeah. I think Mrs. Wilberforce is a great name for a cat.
It is a great name for a cat. That's also a great point he's making. Like, why are we meeting here when this is already going to get out?
Yeah, I thought that was weird, too.
Yeah, you're running for president.
We hold elections in this country, not coronations. John Hoynes is using the White House to lock up the Democratic primaries.
If you're saying there's a full-blown nomination fight...
Hoynes doesn't inherit this.
Keeps getting earlier, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's all the time now. We're always in campaign.
Yeah.
Good.
Karen Croft wants national parks.
She can't have it. President signed the Parks bill. The job just became Senate confirmable.
Yeah, that was for next fiscal year.
It turns out it's retroactive. I just saw the final language.
So that sucks.
Yeah, I have to go back and talk to her.
We asked her to do it.
She led the charge for a higher gas tax.
And we asked her to do it.
I understand, but the U.S. Senate isn't gonna.
Reuters has the Ayatollah's youngest son just left Afghanistan on a C-130. Is he coming here for a heart transplant? The Ayatollah's issued a statement.
What kind?
Denouncing it.
Right. Well, there goes his good mood.
Yeah.
Give a cigarette, my man.
Yeah. It sucks. I mean, it's the right thing. Save the boy.
No, you still have to save the boy. You can hate the Ayatollah all you want.
The kid needs lungs and a heart. Let's use the Ayatollahs.
Yeah, right.
He didn't want to try. My son is dying, and these guys maybe can fix him.
The Ayatollah's gotta honor Bahrain. Stop all tests of the Shihab-3.
That's a 15-year-old non-combatant on his way to a hospital. I want you to pretend that plane's got a big red cross on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah. Save the child, man.
I'm
it's a
glad that
child.
he's like not even considering any other options.
Right. Yeah.
We have head injuries? Like, what's going on here?
We have a chance to save this teenager.
Yeah.
Save the teenager.
Hoynes is lining up precinct captains in Iowa and New Hampshire.
This is like 10 minutes after the polls close.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
It's probably the same thing. Half the Senate's going to be running. If it looks like we're giving Hoynes the keys.
Yeah.
We kept him out of the Senate ring because it wasn't his turn, and now...
There weren't any turns.
I agree.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
It's a gross way to look at it.
Yeah. It's not his turn. There are candidates and people pick.
What do you want me to do? Start getting used to the fact that we won in a landslide. We can show some fight on this.
She did everything short of pouring lighter fluid on the Republican leadership. They're not going to confirm her. They're going to make us look bad doing it.
So they can't get her a job anywhere then?
No.
That sucks.
We don't have a doctor.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
There are only 3 who can do this.
Who's the third?
Dr. Hassan Mohabi at Smith Lansing.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah, he fled Iran in 1980.
I think he's going to do it.
He has to. He's a doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a doctor. You do your job, man.
Vendetta's vendetta, but still, it's a
right.
kid, man.
You took an oath.
Whatever happened to Mrs. Wilberforce?
She moved to Miami and took up massage. Well, you're the one who asked
Wasn't
me.
Mrs. Wilberforce our cat?
She was our housekeeper.
The only doctor available won't do it.
He's Jewish?
Persian.
He doesn't have a choice. Samuel Mudd set Booth's leg after he shot Lincoln.
Samuel Mudd was tried and convicted of treason for setting that leg.
So?
What so?
So that's the way it goes. You set the leg.
You should not have been charged with treason on that either.
No, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get Hawaii. Great weather, great beaches, universal health care. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
It's too expensive to live there.
I think from time to
We
time...
need you to stop shopping for precinct captains.
Excuse me?
We're days after an election. We gotta govern. We need these 2 years. It's our last chance to govern, John.
Mr. Vice President.
Points is wrong here, though.
He's wrong. I get why he's upset, but, like, dude, see the big picture, man.
I never went to Hawaii.
What?
We skipped Hawaii.
The boy's on the plane. He's experiencing pulmonary hypertension. That's elevated pressure in the lungs, I think. That could lead to what?
His arteries have lost their anticoagulant properties, and Mr. President, I resent this.
Dr. Mojave, I don't care. Why aren't you scrubbing up?
My family's there. If the procedure isn't successful...
Nothing will happen to them. Do me a favor, Doctor. Go back to Smith Lansing and look at the kid, because I think when you do, you're going to scrub up.
Save the freaking kid, man.
Save his life, please.
You think his cell phone, maybe?
Not whitewater rafting, and staff can't make those calls.
I was wondering what they were getting at there.
Unless?
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody else is making the calls on behalf of Hoynes.
Yeah.
Is it Bartley, you think?
Toby.
You can't have the job. We asked you to fight a losing... Yes, we owe you.
Well, if he feels guilty
Just
about it.
looking out for a gas tax because someone from Michigan had to.
We'll probably never see her again, but I love this character.
Yeah.
Saying goodbye to your office here a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna miss it, huh?
Yeah.
There's a good guy out there named Will Bailey, if he should come across your radar.
It's okay to run away from me when you need to.
I would never. Mr. President, I simply would never do that.
If you lose, you lose. But if you waste this, I'll kill you. I'll just kill you, Sam.
Yes, sir.
I think it is. I think Leo's like, you got to stop pushing for Hoynes.
Yeah.
You don't really like making thank you calls, do you? How many precinct captains did you line up for Hoynes?
Yep.
I didn't line up
47.
anybody. They'll think whatever they want.
Well, they think you're freezing the race for Hoynes.
I'm freezing it for us. Do I call them all back?
We'll take care of it.
That was nice of him, though.
Yeah.
On behalf of Hoynes.
He's always had Hoynes' back.
Yeah.
Iran's going to accelerate medium-range missile tests by 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so infuriating.
I know.
Salma Nafkin was wheeled into surgery 15 minutes ago. Well, I suppose there are worse ways for ours to end.
Yeah, you saved a kid.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, everything else is falling around you, but you got a good,
Right,
great deed, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure in that job there's a lot of days where you don't feel like you accomplished anything remotely close to that.
And we've seen that on the show.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You can leave with his head held high, you know?
For sure.
And so can that doctor, as a matter of fact, too.
Oh, absolutely.
I get the trepidation and the hesitation behind it, but it's like, I mean, it's
yeah.
You got to do what's right.
Yeah, of course. Like
your
you're a doctor. You took an oath. Your job is to heal and save people. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
First, do no harm and blah 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 blah. You're going to save this child, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And of course, Bartlett's like, once you see him,
yeah, you're gonna know why you're there.
Yeah.
You are not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Your feelings are all valid.
I didn't know that about John Wilkes Booth, though. That doctor was tried.
Yeah, I knew he was hurt, but I didn't realize that the doctor treated him was tried for treason, convicted of treason for different times. I guess
probably killed.
I mean, really, yeah.
Back then,
it's probably like that. Nowadays, I don't feel like that would happen. I feel like
no, it wouldn't happen.
In the matter of the course of law, I feel like, I mean, hopefully, you never know, but
yeah, I mean, it's maddening to think sometimes. You look back on our history and you're like, wow,
right,
we've come so far. But no, this is a great episode. It feels like it was an episode full of like disappointing news. Like it started off like he was very chipper,
sure,
feeling good, won an election, and then it just one thing after the next, it just kind of started to bum him out. And he got increasingly frustrated.
Sure, well, with the kid, right, and the story with the lady who basically torpedoed her own campaign to help the White House on a clean air bill. Yeah, it's basically like there are political consequences to things, but ultimately you just have to do the right thing sometimes.
Exactly.
And that's what both of those stories kind of were, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this sucks. Yeah, I know the Ayatollah is going to talk trash about you, and I know that it's going to end up costing you your election. But at the end of the day, you just sometimes have to do the right thing because you have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Which obviously in our current state of politics is sometimes hard to see. Since half of our Congress now is basically Twitter trolls.
Truly,
that's just kind of infuriating to watch. It's like, aren't you doing something besides slamming each other on Twitter?
More important things to do,
right?
The Hoynes situation is interesting too, though. I mean, it's like he needs to take a page of that book as well.
Sure,
I get it. But it's not your turn, dude. I mean, you can run, but like,
there's no such thing as you're getting your turn.
It's so stupid. Like it really frustrates me. I mean, it's I guess it is a political game, but at the same time, dude, it's like just run on your own merits. Like if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. That's the job. Like,
right.
It's not up to you to decide if you're president or not.
Now, well, or even the nominee is what they're really talking about.
Sure,
the Democratic nominee. Now, do you think? And there's no way to know. We're still a few seasons out, probably getting this answer. Do you think Hoynes gets the nomination? Because I'm pretty sure if I were a betting man on how the show ends, we're going to go all the way through Bartlett's run as president, right?
I would assume so.
Which means there's going to be probably in season 6 or certainly in season 7, new guys running, right? There's going to be a new presidential campaign with a no incumbent, right? So there's going to be a Republican and a Democratic candidate that we're probably going to see run for president.
Probably.
At least somewhat off to the side, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know how much they'll focus on it, but it's going to be at least talked about.
If we saw Richie, I would imagine we'd see
we're going to,
next,
I don't think that's going to be a thing that like just completely happens off screen for the show.
Yeah.
if you were to put money on it now, do you think Hoynes is going to be the Democratic nominee?
No,
I wouldn't either. I think that's just way too predictable now.
Too predictable, and
it's like, oh, you're next. I don't feel like the show's going to go that direction.
I think it would stifle the message here.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be some type of upstart.
Yeah.
Maybe on both tickets, right? Maybe for the Republican and the Democrat.
And I hope that he comes around and realizes that too, that it is fair.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's even possible that it's somebody we've seen on the show already for one or both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I never considered that, but it really could be.
It could be one of the governors we've seen. It could be Richie again. That happens. Yeah. Not very often.
I hope not.
Right.
He's so dark against him winning the presidency.
He ends up winning instead. But theoretically, it could be, right? He could be the absolutely. Republican nominee. It could be one of the, it could be the guy we just saw. The Senate Minority Leader, who was, mad at Josh.
Yeah.
Triplehorn. Yeah. It could be Triplehorn. Or it could be someone we haven't met yet.
I kind of hope it's somebody we haven't met yet. Sure. But I would like it if it is somebody that we've seen, a familiar face. It would really crescendo the show. It would end on a high note, I feel like, or just come full circle in a certain way.
It could be, they talked about Fitz Wallace as a ticket replacement. He can be a candidate for president.
They never said if he was Republican or Democrat, did they?
No, they said we should find out. But they never actually got back to us. I kind of like.
I like that's ambiguous. Yeah,
yeah. He's a military man, and he's not there for political reasons. He's there for defense purposes. Yeah,
yeah. But at the same time, I don't know, the Hoynes thing. I just don't think it's going to be him. I feel like he's never been that guy. I mean, obviously he's the vice president, but it's like it just wouldn't make sense in terms of the show. Narratively speaking, it wouldn't make sense.
And I think it might come down to kind of what they were saying, like what Triplehorn was saying, which kind of stuck out with me, was he was saying like, I don't want to see our party dragged in the middle. Well, I don't think Josh does either.
No.
I think the simple fact that Josh quit and went and worked for Bartlett means that Josh doesn't think that Hoynes is the guy.
Yeah.
Toby doesn't think that Hoynes is the guy.
We've seen that for seasons now.
Exactly.
Several seasons now.
I don't think any of the support staff for the president thinks Hoynes is the guy.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a real chance that they're actually not only not going to be backing Hoynes, but actively working to get somebody else in that position. Yeah. I could see Toby running a campaign for somebody else against Hoynes, which would be really cool. Or Josh, right?
Yeah.
That could be really cool.
I can see that being Josh, honestly.
Yeah, that would be great.
Kind of poetic, actually.
Yeah, because he used to work for him, yes. Yeah. And also, Josh is the deputy White House chief of staff.
Yeah.
Him kind of being in the Leo role as the actual chief of staff for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Even said that. He's like, you should have Leo's job.
Exactly. Like he would be probably, because again, I kind of feel like it's Josh's show. It would kind of make sense that Josh is like the guy who goes and runs the campaign for the new guy way down the road. And obviously we're way out. And it still could be Hoynes, but I just feel like Josh could be the guy that, and again, it really could be Toby too.
It could be.
We're obviously speculating.
Flip a
way
coin.
Out,
yeah,
right?
flip a coin, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hoynes is a nice enough guy. Don't get me wrong. I do like Hoynes' character, but I just don't think that. Yeah, that his role there is not to be president. He's a vice president.
Exactly.
That's be highlight of his career.
And I feel like that was what they really set up in season 2 with all the flashbacks. Is nobody really believes that Hoynes is the right person for the job. And if they didn't think that Hoynes was the right person for the job in season 2, they're not going to think he's the right person for the job in season 6, right?
Yep.
So I look forward to seeing where that goes.
The question is, does Hoynes realize that? Does he ever come around and be like, hey, you guys are right?
I really feel like Hoynes seems like, and always has,
he sticks to his guns.
It seems like he's entitled to it, right?
Yeah.
It was supposed.
My turn.
He said before, like, it was supposed to be me getting a nomination. I was supposed to be the one, not you.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hoynes thinks it's like he's kind of like got Brett Kavanaugh vibes in that regard of like, you know, like, how dare you question the fact that I should be in this job?
Exactly.
I like beer.
Still like beer.
Right. Still like beer. I feel like Hoynes is kind of that guy. Like I don't think it's ever going to broach his mind that he shouldn't be president.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels like that. And I don't see, especially Josh, who was originally running his campaign.
Yeah.
I don't see Josh especially ever saying, you know what? Now, John Hoynes, you're the right guy. You know what I mean? I just don't see that coming.
All these years later, it's like,
right.
Now's the time.
I would love it if like several of the staff members were kind of running a campaign for somebody who's going against Hoynes. I don't think they can. Maybe like one, maybe like Josh or because whoever it is obviously going. Well, and they're going to have to quit.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be someone who's like, I can't work at the White House anymore. I'm now campaign manager or whatever for whoever's running for president in the last 2 seasons or 1 season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I wonder how much more. if Hoynes gets more screen time, because
Right.
obviously he's a bigger name.
Sure.
But at the same time, I don't think he's working on a lot. You know?
He just kind of comes in every once in a while to kind of be a foil for the president.
Exactly. And
so I don't know.
But they have nice moments with one another, though.
Sure.
Like we've seen, I think it was season 3. They had
Right.
that great moment in the
Oh, they
office.
did, yeah. And in this one, right before the election, you know, he's like, I'm on the team.
Yeah.
And then, was that 3 or was that 4?
I think that was season 3.
That might have
been.
I can't remember for sure.
I know.
They all just run together.
They really
but it was several episodes ago where he was like, I'm on the team, now let's win. And then we haven't seen him again until now. So I don't know. If I were to put money on it, I would lay 70-30 odds that Hoynes isn't going to be the nominee.
No.
But obviously there's, 75 episodes between now and then, so I am going to
He'd have to have
reserve my judgment.
He'd have to have a huge character arc to be the next president.
I agree. I think the growth for him,
which I'm here for. If they want to set that up, fantastic. I
Sure.
just think
we'll definitely have to see a lot more Tim Madsen for that to happen.
Yeah.
We'll catch you on the next one, guys.
See ya.